we went down to the caucus and we stopped the deregulation. And then from there, we've just been on a path to strengthen and elevate the license. And that's also including updating curriculum, updating testing, and just, I don't want to get too crazy, but stay tuned.
I'm just saying. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, this is the very same Erin Mabin who was a part of the Advocacy Academy course that we hold at the Center for Law and Social Justice at the Medgar Evers College, which will be starting again this March of 2024. We have a caller on the line, but we're gonna have to. Do we have time to take this call right now? All right, we're gonna take this caller. Caller, unfortunately, because we're at the end of the segment, I do need you to ask your question as quickly as you possibly can. But thank you for calling and being part of the Call-In family. What would you like to ask Erin this morning?
Absolutely. I want to go as quick as possible. So I want to know if it's possible for us to hold employers responsible for financially for the harms that they caused us to go through, that they required us to go through.
Ooh, that's a great question. Are employers in some way vicariously liable for the harms that Black women are experiencing? Because I'm assuming this is because of the beauty standards that they require, the grooming standards that they require in the workplace. Is that what you're saying, Colin?
Absolutely.
So
they put it in writing and required it.
Right, especially when they say the hair has to be straight, or when the grooming policies and procedures and the manuals speak to a hair texture that isn't for us. Yes. That's a great question.
Wow, that is a good question. So I would say this. I would say contact me at hairstein.education because I actually offer corporations DEI, and I'm actually doing a keynote at a large corporation at the end of the month, and I'm going to be talking about this type of thing and how they can implement strategies into the workspace that will understand our hair more. But the other part I would say is absolutely contact your Crown Act. I think in New York City there is a branch.
Oh, wait, but she's in Florida. Do they have the Crown Act in Florida? I don't know if they have the Crown Act in Florida. And it's not federal yet because the Republicans blocked it. So the Republicans' anti-block policies and procedures are now, you see how elections matter, right? So Rand Paul and the Republican Party blocked the Crown Act from being passed at the federal level. We're going state by state, but I don't know that we have this yet in Florida. So we're going to have to, that requires now another level of inquiry. So Aisha, we're going to have to do a little research and a little digging, but we're going to head into a commercial break. Erin, I'm going to steal you for a few more minutes because now people want to call. I love me some Urban View. That's how we going to do it. They may not come when you want it, but they going to be right on time. Headed into commercial break, we're going to continue our conversation. I'm going to do a little Googling about what vicarious liability may exist for employers, and that also will depend on your state. Much more to come on the Laurie Daniel Favors Show. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, I'm James Corden, and I'm so thrilled.
Action, SiriusXM's Urban View. You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more.
Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax relief advocates.
Freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
We cannot rest until it comes, and it ain't here yet, folks, which means we got a lot of work to do. You are listening to Laurie Daniel Favors on SiriusXM's Urban View, where talk empowers and becomes action. I'm here with Erin Mabin, who is the EVP of Education Development and the co-founder of the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition. And Erin, we just took a call from somebody in the state of Florida who wanted to know whether or not what options they had in the state of Florida. And one thing we realized during the break was that Florida has actually deregulated the natural hairstyling capacity in that state. And it completely, there was a bill that was passed in 2022, it looks like 2021, that completely removes the license requirement for hair braiding and hair wrapping. So, folks, elections matter, right? They matter a lot because this is something that had he not been in leadership, had the Republicans not been in leadership in this state, it would have been a path forward. You mentioned something, one of your colleagues in the state of Florida was trying to, after this bill was passed, found that they weren't, you were saying this during the break.
Shout out to DJ.
Hey.
She went to the state board. She's been very adamant because she was upset that the braider, natural license got deregulated.
Yeah.
So she's like, I got to go figure this out. She went to the state board and come to find out they can't add extension hair unless they have a cosmetology license. So
wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Now, I've been adding extension hair since extension hair could be added.
Right.
You mean I would have to, in order to do that for someone else, I would have to be a cosmetologist to put braids in your head?
Yes. So you took away a license that was already doing that, right, with no problem.
Wow.
And then now it's pretty much illegal, right? Because unless you're a cosmetologist, you can't add hair to the hair.
Oh,
which is
that's
crazy.
like the fundamental. That's like having clean combs. We're gonna add some hair. We're gonna add some hair. We're gonna do some things.
Absolutely.
Wow. So this is about advocacy.
Yes.
As much as it is beauty and loving, the luxury of hair and getting your hair and your emotion needs, all that also matters. Mm-hmm. But this is also about advocacy.
It 100% is advocacy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but this is also going to be my presentation. But salons and barbershops were pivotal and monumental in the civil rights era.
That's right.
Okay, so as a salon professional, as a natural hair care professional, a barber, whatever you are in this beauty industry, you are an advocate by right, by heritage, by lineage.
Wow.
Right? So you have to step into the space, own it. You are in control of this whole industry, but you don't know it. So I'm here to tell you that you should go become an advocate. And advocacy doesn't always mean you're going to go march down and lobby, or you're going to protest, or you're going to go, change a law. Advocacy could just be that you have gatherings at your salon, bringing awareness, bringing in the people that are talking about this, right? Bringing in the people that are changing law and legislation.
Yeah.
There's so many avenues to advocacy.
Yeah.
And what the NHBC has done is we've kind of explored all of them.
Yeah.
And that's what's made our journey so great and unique because, we have master pioneers that were in 1993, right? Then we have the vanguards, myself and Natasha. We like to call ourselves that. And we're kind of taking it to the next level with the master pioneers. Because I read, it was a proverb yesterday. It said the youth can run fast, but the elders know the path.
Ooh. You could be running fast in the wrong direction if you don't have the elders with you.
So you always need that predecessor, so to speak. The person that came before you to give you the path. You might have a different vision to get them further because, you're younger and you're faster, you're keen.
Right.
But you still have to understand the path.
I love that. Oh, I love that. And I think there's something symbolic and special about this as well, because back in 1993, when you had the elected officials who were, not the elected officials, when you had the master hairstylists and braiding coalition members who were making sure that we had a license in the state of New York for natural hairstylists to come out of their basements, come out of their kitchens, and actually open up salons, the Center for Law and Social Justice at Medgar Evers College, which was then led by my predecessor, our founding executive director, Esmeralda Simmons, was an intimate part of that process, helping to draft the legislation, making sure Diane Bailey understood what to say when she went to Albany, going up to Albany, fighting and meeting with the elected officials to make sure that Black members of the hair care community would have access to this. So I just got to say, I think it's poetic to the extreme that now, 30 plus years later, here we are, the vanguard, us younger generation folks. I'm now in leadership at the Center for Law and Social Justice at Medgar Evers College. Cultural rights, which was sort of the umbrella of legal advocacy that was born out of that 1993 effort, is now something that we still hold to, and we are still doing the work of supporting the growth and expansion in this space. This is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time. And Erin, I'm encouraged because you all are demonstrating what happens when people who are minding their own business, doing what you was already doing, and realize there's a problem here. And then realize, well, I'm not the only one that sees this problem. Other people who are similarly situated to me see this problem. And we may not be lawyers. We may not know everything about drafting legislation, but we know what we know.
That's right.
And we know how
right.
we are.
And we know
People
what we
deserve.
need.
We know what we need.
Absolutely.
That's right. And we know whose power we can call on. This is an amazing thing. I want to congratulate you and the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition members, because you are really showing us what it looks like when being entrepreneurs meets advocacy and advocacy meets success. And I think that you are all to be applauded. And I'm really just excited about everything that's happening. Now, you're going to be at caucus weekend.
Yes.
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yes, the 17th.
The 17th.
We'll be there for the whole weekend, but we have, some wonderful things happening on the 17th. And I do want to just go back to the advocacy class, because it was really monumental in our work. And we have...
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You're talking about Advocacy Academy?
Yes.
At the Center for Law and Social Justice, which will be launching its 6th cohort in March of this spring. Is that the class you're talking about?
Yes, that is the class. And we have extended it to our other stylists. Like DJ from Florida, she was also a alumni. She took the course. So, we would love to partner so we can get other hairdressers, on board with the advocacy class.
We might need to see if Professor Morris could do like a summer session.
Yes.
For like how to do advocacy for the natural hairstyle community.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna have to pitch that one.
Yes.
I'm gonna fundraise some money for that one.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, we're gonna make that one happen. All
right. So on the 17th, we're having 2 workshops. Okay. One during the morning with Assemblywoman Salages.
Yes.
And then we're having our afternoon event that we're going to, introduce our lovely bill and talk further about that. And that is run by Gary Pretlow, Assembly Member Gary Pretlow, and then Senator Leah Webb. So those are our 2 sponsors of that bill, which is great, because sometimes you only have one sponsor for a bill, but we have both the Senate and the Assembly.
Because you know that there's 2 houses that you have to get this bill to.
Yes.
Because you're advocates.
Absolutely. And then, we have to then get the rest of them to understand what our bill means and what it is. So then when they go back to the House floor, they can talk about it and say, yes, we want to go ahead with that bill.
Right. So you just to be clear and to make it painfully obvious, you didn't just say, "Ooh, this is something that we need." You like it, I like it, we like it. Sure do wish there was a law. Somebody should do something about this. You guys are working the system. You're not fighting. You're loving on it.
Yeah, we're loving.
You're working the system. You understand where the power lies. You've got bills in both houses. You know that you have to now get other electeds to sign on because you're crystal clear about how to move power.
Absolutely, how to navigate.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Imagine if we could do that in every... What if Black educators were doing this work? What if the Black medical profession were organized? This is exciting.
It would be a whole different shit.
Be a whole different America.
Yes. Imagine.
If only. All right. Well, how can people follow you? And y'all gonna get this message from Ella High Water. What's the best way for people to follow you and connect with the work of the coalition?
Okay, so you can follow me at Erin H. Maven on Instagram, as well as the coalition at _NHBC. You can visit our website, nhbcoalition.org, and you can also visit my website, hairsteam.education.
And that's hair, HAIRSTEAM.
Yes.
.education.
And STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics, because we are scientists.
Yes.
Mathematicians.
Yes.
We're all of it.
Artists. Technicians.
All of it.
Oh, I love this. The potential, the possibility. This is what vision looks like when you dream something. Because back in 2019, I was like, Chad, I don't know. I just don't know. But look at me being a negative Nancy, and y'all was like, no, we know. Just you put together that class, and let us do what we got to do. So that's to me, that's another beautiful message. Is that.
So I just want to share this information with you because it's valuable information. This is the Laurie Daniel Favors show on Sirius XM that we were listening to, where they have taken, this group has taken natural hair care to the next level, where you can work up under a natural hair care provider for 2 years as an apprentice. Remember that word, apprentice? That was something that was so common back in the day, the 60s and the 70s. Apprenticeship. They have it in the technical fields, electrical, plumbing, apprenticeship. But here is a program now in New York City where you can work up under a natural hair care professional for 2 years as an apprentice, and then apply and take the test to be licensed. So the apprenticeship program means that you're learning the A through Z's of the field, hands on, because people learn differently, right? Some people can read a book and get it. Some people, you just give them the tools and they can operate them. We all learn differently. But under apprenticeship programs such as this, you have the best of both worlds. You have the exact technical, scientific explanation and ideology, and then you have the hands on. And nothing beats your hands better than a hands on, really. I listened to this today and I thought to myself during the COVID pandemic, what did I do? I was visiting my daughter and she has locks and I did her hair and I felt so at home, not just in her home, but I felt at home doing hair, natural hair. I love doing it. I've done it in my past, not on a professional salon style, but for people. And it's always been okay with me. And I was like, I could do this. And this was again during the pandemic, so 2020, probably early 2022 ish. I could see doing that. I could see working up under an apprentice in a natural hair salon where the aroma of the salon is of the essential oils, of the not too much lavender, mint, and rosemary, which is an excellent combination. I could see doing this. So if I didn't have enough to do, well, here's that something else. But it is that something else that I naturally fit into. What I do my best not to do is try to fit into something I do not naturally fit into. So I'm grateful that I turned on Urban View. I turned it on really earlier today because I wanted to hear Joe Madison. Joe Madison is an ancestor now as of February 1st, the first day of Black History Month. So I guess that'll be just like his birthday, never to be forgotten by those who know him closely, his birthday, but for those who know him virtually and personally and professionally, that he transitioned on February 1st, the first day of the American Black History Month, right? And then when I turned it on, his show was going off, and then Laurie Daniel Favors came on, which was really just perfect timing. I take that back to my antennas again. Perfect timing, absolutely. Um, and we probably spoke about this a little earlier, but ironically, the second day of Black History Month, a dear friend to the Grown Folk Talking Progressive Podcast Network, to me, and to many of us, Dr. Darren James Sr., he transitioned on February 2nd. I know he was an Aquarian, so I believe it was actually before his birth anniversary, which should be coming this month. But you could not hear his brilliance when he spoke. His knowledge of what he knew, and he would step back if he didn't know or throw a monkey wrench in it. I used to always tease him and ask him, where did he purchase his monkey wrenches wholesale? And he said, what are you about in there? What are you talking about? What? And I said, well, you always throw monkey wrenches in, so I know you can't be buying them retail because you'd be broke. So where are you purchasing your monkey wrenches wholesale? And I probably asked him that on a couple of shows as well, but definitely in our one-on-one conversations. But brilliant man. He was a podiatrist, but if you don't know, before you go into a specialty, you're actually a medical doctor. So he knew biology, physiology, anatomy. He knew the connective elements of our bodies. He knew so much. And I'm just hoping that somewhere in his files there are videos. I know he said he had them on one of his older computers, and he was going to try to get his daughter or his son-in-law, I think, to try to pull them out and pull them up, because I suggested to him to teach on video so that he would be teaching his great, 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 great grandchildren and all of those along the way his knowledge. They would be able to hear him and to learn from him because he knew a lot. So he will be missed. And again, I'm always grateful for technology with the recordings because we could always go back and listen to his his conversation and his sharing of information and his, okay, let's think about it on this side, or what if, or what are they doing with our money, and we need to go to the politicians. That's where, we're giving our money to the politicians, so we need to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. And I can't do everything right now. I'm limited. I have a lot of health conditions and I can't do everything, but that's what we need to do. I'm just saying. We've missed him over the last month, a little over a month actually, on being on the shows, and many of us have asked about him and tried to get information. And I just want to say, I offer my condolences to all who are going to realize that he's not in person anymore, but he's definitely in spirit. I say he is. He's watching us from a larger platform. So let's continue.